So I made a promise to myself this week. I told myself that I would not be buying any coffee from Starbucks, Bixby, or the Coffee Hole until I finish drinking all the coffee that I have in my shelf behind me. Because I do have a pretty good stash of coffee. So on that note, let's go make some coffee before we get into this video. I approve. What is happening, guys? My name is Mikhail and I'm a wedding photographer and filmmaker based out of Columbus, Ohio. So, a couple weeks ago, I made a portfolio video and a lot of photography friends reached out and asked for tips on how to make their own. This is the trend that's been going on where you can essentially put your portfolio to a really cool song, a really cool beat that will, essentially help your viewers and your photos even more. So today we're going to talk about 3 tips that will help you make that video and make it right so that your audience can enjoy it to its full potential. So what is a portfolio video and do you need it? Well, the truth is that you don't need it, but it's really, really cool to have to kind of showcase your images in a fun and creative way. So let's get right into it so we can see how we can figure out which images to use, what song to use, and how to actually make this happen. So tip number 1, choose your images. So there are 2 kinds of photographers, in my opinion anyways. You have bold and creatives and you have reserved and traditional photographers. So for example, if you're a bold and creative photographer, I want you to go and pick images that truly display your creative prowess and show all those emotions, show all those colors, show all the boldness that you have when you approach your photography. If you are a reserved and traditional photographer, let's take the light and airy photographer for example. You may not be as bold as other photographers or willing to push your colors as much or your contrast, but you definitely have a style. And it's a style that speaks to many brides. It's a very, very popular style, but it's what you've come to see when you think of a traditional wedding portrait. It's nice, clean, crisp, can't go wrong with it. So if you're that kind of photographer, you may put a lot of emphasis into details or a perfectly nice, clean and crisp image, so pick those. Essentially, tip 1 is all about figuring out what your strength is and playing to that. Tip number 2, pick the right song for your video. Now this goes without saying, but if you're a light and airy photographer, you probably won't be choosing a dirty beat or a hard rock and roll song to display your images. In the same sense, you won't be choosing a whimsical, peppy pop song to display an image of a tattooed couple on the dance floor giving the finger to the camera. It just doesn't feel right. So pick a song that truly speaks through your images. Pick a song that represents you and your style. Okay guys, so now that we're on the computer, we're gonna open up Premiere Pro and get to work. So I'm gonna choose this project here that I was already previously working on, and it's gonna be how to make a portfolio video on Premiere Pro. Okay, so as you can see, we have our music, our photos, and our Premiere file. Everything has been labeled just so we know what they are. So for starters, we're gonna go into our Premiere Files folder and create a new sequence. What a sequence is the canvas in which your video will live. So we're gonna name this How to Video. Or let's call it Portfolio Video instead. Portfolio Video. Hit OK, and now we have a 16:9 video canvas to work with. Next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna drop our song. So I'm gonna move that song over here. And we're gonna make this a little bigger so we can kind of see our waveform. So we're gonna go ahead and hit play and listen. As you can hear, there's a lot of clicking on this song. There's clicks and beats that are happening while the song is playing. So we're gonna go ahead and take it back to the beginning, and I'm going to push M every time there is a beat on the song. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the song right where it is and take the playhead back to the beginning. Now we're gonna go into our photo folder, select the first one, hold shift and select the last one. That will select all the images Now we have fewer markers than we do images, so a lot of the images will be filling out after the marker. So the next thing that we're going to do is go to clip. We're going to go to automate sequence. Make sure that the placement is set to at number markers and not to sequentially. So at number markers, and we're going to hit OK. So now Premiere Pro has selected all the images that we have and dropped them right on the beat that we have. But as you can see, these photos are really zoomed in. So there's also a couple spots where the image doesn't quite fill all the way to the gap, so we want to go and make sure and correct that. Make sure that every little gap is closed and accounted for. So that looks pretty good. We have one more here. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the additional images. Let's take those out. Take the playhead back to the beginning. Actually, let's take a look here. As you can see, the image is really zoomed in, so the next thing that we're gonna do is select them all, right click, scale to frame size. We still have a couple of black bars here, so what we're gonna do next is go and select one image, zoom in here, select one image, and we're going to zoom that in to fill in the frame. You can also move the position so we can have a good composition here. And once that is done, we're gonna hit Command C to copy it. Okay. Paste attributes. Make sure that motion, opacity, timer mapping is set. And then all the remaining images will be adjusted to that initial adjustment that we made on that one first clip. You may want to go back into each image and then adjust the position of them to retain the composition, but you should be pretty set. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and let it play. So there you have it, a quick and easy portfolio video, and there's a lot of other things that you can do to spice it up even more, like adding slides and push-ins, and you can do that by going to the Effects tab in Premiere Pro and playing with some keyframes. I hope you guys enjoyed this Premiere Pro tutorial, and I hope it helps you make your portfolio video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you're notified when the next video goes up. It legit makes my day when you guys subscribe, so I really appreciate it if you did. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for watching. You're the absolute best, and I love you. So that's it for now, guys. Until next time, Mikhail out. I'm gonna get back to my coffee. Still hot.